1500 प्रीलोडेड गानों वाला कीपैड फोन धमाकेदार साउंड के साथ कारवा मोबाइल।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So many people have so many opinions of Lord Krishna. Some people tell he was a great politician, a king, or a cowherd boy, or a magician, a yogi. Some people also understand him as Supreme Personality of Godhead, others as manifestation of impersonal energy. So what is the perfect opinion in this regard should be understood from Arjuna, who heard the glories of the Lord from his lotus mouth himself. So without getting confused with so many interpretations of Bhagavad Gita, let us see what is Arjuna's conclusion after hearing Bhagavad Gita. Without delay, let's get started with chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute. This session is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our spiritual master and the founder and acharya of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement. Let's see verse number 1. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Bhuya eva Mahabaho Shrinu me paramam vachaha Yatteham priyamanaya Vakshyami hitkamyaya. The Supreme Lord said, "My dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy." Important word used in this verse is Priyamanaya, Yatteham Priyamanaya. Because Arjuna is very dear to Krishna, that is why this knowledge is being revealed to him. In order to understand this knowledge, this qualification repeatedly has been stressed by Lord Krishna. Bhakto asi me sakha cheti anasuyave. One should be non-envious, one should be devoted to Krishna, one should be friendly to Krishna. Sakha chayeti priyamanaya, one should be very, very dear to Krishna. Then this knowledge will be revealed. The question now comes, how to become dear to Krishna? That also Lord Krishna has been mentioning. A devotee is very dear to me. And that was a conclusion of previous chapter also. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. This is most confidential knowledge. Become my devotee, always think of me. Bhakta ativ me priyaha. Devotee is very dear to me. But among all kinds of devotees, there is this special devotee who is most dear to Krishna. Nobody has been so dear, nobody shall ever be so dear as this devotee. Who is this devotee? So this is very great secret. This is explained at the end of Bhagavad Gita. This confidential knowledge which we discussed in previous chapter, Krishna will repeat again. And after that, Krishna says in 18th chapter, Ya imam paramam guhyam. Guhyam means confidential knowledge. Paramam, topmost confidential knowledge. Mad bhakteshva vidhasyati. One who explains this secret of Bhagavad Gita to others, to my devotees. Nacha tasmat manushyeshu kaschin me priyakrit tamaha. Nobody is dearer to me than the one who explains this confidential knowledge to others. Bhavita nacha me tasman. Nobody has been, nor shall anyone be ever more dear to me. So the entire secret of understanding Bhagavad Gita is becoming dear to Krishna. And who is dear most to Krishna? One who preaches this knowledge to others. So thus, I request that let us realize this knowledge very nicely, very carefully. How to realize this also Krishna will further explain very nicely in the coming verses. So let us try to understand Janma Sarthak Kari Kar Paropkar, and let us be benevolent and spread this knowledge to others. By realizing and spreading this knowledge, we become most dear and our spiritual life reaches perfection. Na me vidussurgana prabhavam na maharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. The entire civilization has come from demigods, the powerful controllers of the universe. But Krishna is telling Name Viduhu. Viduhu means no, Name, they don't understand me. Surgana, Maharshinam, the great sages and rishis who have given us such wonderful literatures in the form of Upanishads, Puranas, Vedas. So the great Maharshis do not know, and the Devatas, the supreme controllers of the universe, they also do not understand me. Understanding Krishna is so difficult. Aham Adirhi Devanam, I am their source, but they do not know that. And what to speak of ordinary Devatas? The king of the Devatas is Lord Indra, the controller of rains. He possesses the most powerful weapon, Vajra. Krishna will explain in this chapter. Indra also thought, oh, this is just an ordinary cowherd boy in Vrindavan, and people have stopped my worship. So Krishna wanted to, as we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, he has been telling people, do not worship other Devatas, because the result is temporary. Just worship me for eternal return to the kingdom of God. And thus Krishna dissuaded the Vrijvasis from worshipping Indra. And when Indra got to know, he became infuriated. This ordinary child and people, I will just show them what is the result of not worshipping me. And then he flooded the entire Vrindavan. And finally, Krishna lifted Govardhan and Indra came to his senses. He is the source of my powers. He is Supreme Personality himself. Similarly, Brahma, when Aghasur, the great snake demon, was killed, Brahma also got bewildered. People are telling that Supreme Lord has incarnated, but without knowledge, how can he incarnate? He appears to be a small boy, but yes, his powers are mystical. So let me test who is he. So Brahma also could not understand. He kidnapped all the friends of Krishna and the cows and calves of Krishna. And finally he realized. And Brahma, it is told very beautifully as we discussed previously. So just for a moment, as we have discussed, Brahma took them away and kept them in Yog Nidra in some far off place away from this planet. And he had gone away just for a moment. And when he came back, he saw all those friends have come again. Now Brahma got confused. I've just kidnapped them. How come they have all manifested again? And it is being explained in the Shastras that just it was one moment of time for Brahma. But in that one moment, 1 year had passed on this planet Earth. As we understand in the relativity, that if you travel at the speed of light and come back after 10 years, other people who are living on this planet would have aged much more than you, maybe 40 or 50 years. And we can see how this is written 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, people are witnessing this phenomena that just for a moment, Brahma lives on the topmost planet of the universe. He goes away, he comes back, and then 1 year has passed on this planet. So thus we can just appreciate that these things are not imaginary phenomena. Before understanding relativity, one might have had difficulty to understand, but now we understand it is a scientific phenomena. So Brahma also could not understand. And who is Brahma? Brahma is the creator of this universe. All the planets, all the bodies that we have, our destinies are created by Brahma. Nobody is smarter, more intelligent than Brahma. Vedas have been given to us by Brahma. But Brahma also could not understand. Thus it is told, Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktao. This mind, body, everything has been created by Krishna. So if Krishna wants, we can know him. If he doesn't want, how can we know? This instrument is under control of Krishna only. Maya Dhyakshaena Prakriti, entire nature is under control of Krishna. So thus Krishna tells, Name vidu surgana. Here Arjun, more confidential glories of mine. The Devtas and the Rishis also do not know me. But because you are my devotee, dear devotee, I am explaining this knowledge to you. So thus Brahma gave the process. What is our capacity when Brahma could not understand? So we should not try to understand God. So this logic in the Vedic philosophy is compared to frogs in the well. Technically it is called Kupumanduk Nyay, means frog in the well logic. A frog in the well, can you imagine how do cities look like? And which are other species? There is a very huge animal, giraffe, there are elephants and tigers and so many other species are there. Frogs may have experience of very limited species in the well and a very limited perspective of the world. They cannot imagine. Similarly, we are not even frogs in the well. We are just situated on this planet, which is but a speck of dust in the universe. What understanding do we have of the universe, and what to speak of the creator of universe, so many universes? That the frog in the well cannot understand anything about the world. Similarly, we cannot expect to understand the world or the creator of the world. The only way is if the creator himself reveals this knowledge to us. So thus Brahma told, Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva. With folded hands he came and begged pardon. Krishna, please forgive me. I try to test you, my Supreme Lord. Then he gave the process, Jnane prayasam udapasya. Give up this Gyan prayas, using your mental speculation if you want to understand God. Jnane prayasam udapasya. Please understand, if a dog tries his level best, can a dog understand trigonometry, algebra, calculus, quantum mechanics, optical physics? No, dog cannot understand. Dog's brain does not have the capacity. So why we are having blind faith? This is called blind faith on our brains, that with this brain I can understand everything of the world. So actually this is called blind faith. I have blind faith on my brain. With this I can understand everything. So Brahma is telling the wisest person, Jnane prayasam udapasya. Give up the mental effort to know God. And namanta eva, offer your respects to God, become very humble. You may not understand God, but you understand that God exists. That is a fact. Because I see these wonderful eyes are there. They are wonderful camera. And there is proper arrangement how to just focus on the retina. The curvature is so right from the birth. Did the atoms and the cells decide, let us arrange in this curvature because there is a retina? Some cells are discussing to form the retina. And then there is shutter, there is cornea, pupil, how to control the intensity of light, and so many wonderful mechanisms are there. And then there is some dust, and then auto-cleansing phenomena, drains are there, and the dust is ejaculated. And then the image which is formed, that is inverted in nature. There are optical nerves. There are encoders and decoders. So that image is inverted in the exact 180 degrees. So how somebody got to know that no image is going to be inverted? Let us turn it 180 degrees. So this is a wonderful phenomena. These are cameras. Can a camera, now we are recording this session in a camera, can it manifest on its own? And these are the most wonderful cameras. Then the image is converted into an electrical signal. So there are encoders. And then there are wires, just like we have wire to send electrical signal. So we have wiring which carry electrical signals. It goes to the spine. From spine it goes to the brain. On a brain there is decoder. In this way we are able to visualize the world. There are rods and cones. They maintain perfect ratio so that we can see colors as it is. Such amazing phenomena is happening within our eye, and it is, we have not discussed anything. People spend so many years to just understand the mechanism of eye. We can understand somebody has created this wonderful machine, this wonderful supercomputer by which we can manufacture computers. Who has done this wonderful assembly of the grey cells here? So somebody is there, this we can understand. So I should simply bow down, become very humble. I am helpless. I have limited perspective of the world which is allowed by my mind and senses. So Brahma is telling, Namanta eva, become humble. Jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam. Lead your life as per the direction of the self-realized souls. Sthane sita shruti-gatam hi punsam tanuvan manobhi. So tanu, vak and mana, with mind, body and speech, one should completely surrender unto Krishna. Namanta eva. My God, please let me know what is your instruction. Because he is supreme controller, he is our best well-wisher, we should surrender unto him and ask him what is best for me, how to attain real happiness, what is the truth of life. So this surrenderance, to the degree we execute it, in that proportion knowledge is revealed. With mind, body and speech we should surrender, and Shruti Gatam, simply keep on hearing. Ye prayaso ajit jitopi ta istri lokyam. By this effort, the person who is prayaha ajita, who is almost unconquered, becomes conquered. By whom? By his devotees. Out of his great love, he agrees to be conquered, and his perfect understanding is revealed. So the perfect knowledge can be achieved when a person surrenders completely to the God and simply lends one's ears to understand this perfect knowledge from God, or to the people who have realized this knowledge from God. Otherwise, Krishna has mentioned here, even the demigods and great rishis do not have knowledge about me. Yomamajam anadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammuda samartyeshu sarva papa pramuchyate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he undiluted among men is freed from all sins. So we are not able to understand God because of sinful life. So doubts will remain as long as we are covered by the reactions of sinful activities. Now here Lord Krishna is telling, if anybody is able to understand, one is convinced that yes, he is Anadim, Lord is beginningless, and he is Ajam, he is not born. What is the meaning of not born? Because we are also not born, soul is eternal. Not born means Krishna does not undergo a phenomena of birth. It means when the soul picks up the dress, that is termed as birth. So Krishna is free from this phenomenon of taking dresses over him. It means when Krishna comes here, he does not take any external covering on himself. He is complete spirit inside and outside. There is no difference between body and soul of Krishna. Krishna does not take any body which is made up of matter. That is why he is Ajam. He does not take birth. He becomes manifest. That is why technically it is called Avirbhav. He manifests himself, he becomes visible, and then he becomes unmanifest, invisible. That's it. There is no birth and death for Krishna. So if one understands Krishna is Ajam, Krishna does not take birth. And Krishna is Anadi. Krishna has no origin. He is the origin of everyone. He is freed from all sins. So there are 9 steps to spiritual perfection. It starts with Adav Shraddha. Adav Shraddha means, just like if you are hearing this Bhagavad Gita for the first time, then you might become little inquisitive. This sounds interesting, very logical, authoritative. Let me try to understand more. This is called Shraddha. Adav means the beginning is little Shraddha, little faith. Let me try to understand what this knowledge is. And with this little faith, when a person advances further, then he associates with the devotees. This is the second step, that is called Sadhu Sangha. And then when one associates with the sadhu, he eventually tries to follow the practices of sadhus. That is called Bhajan Kriya. One takes initiation from the spiritual master. Initiation means formal acceptance of spiritual master as one's guide. One surrenders unto such guru. And then he starts practicing devotional life. Only after initiation means the beginning. That is actually the beginning of spiritual life. Before that, it is all preparation. So the Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, is very, very important to maintain always, even after initiation. All our desires and convictions are simply because of the association that we have. And when a person starts executing devotional practices by being initiated from a bona fide spiritual master, he reaches fourth stage, that is called Anartha Nivritti. One becomes freed from all unwanted habits. Anartha means which makes sense, Anartha means nonsense. Anything which does not help us to become immortal, to realize our spiritual position, to gain platform of unlimited happiness, that is called Anartha. In other words, anything, any effort done on material plane for material enjoyment more than keeping the body and soul together, that is called Anartha. So all such anarthas, unwanted habits, especially sinful habits, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, one becomes freed from these pillars. And then one comes to the platform of Nishtha. Nishtha means firm faith. Till then, confusion will be there. Whether it is right or wrong, sometimes I think it is very right, it is perfect. Sometimes I get confused, this may be just one of those theories that people have. So this confusion will remain. As long as a person is sick, confusion will be there about the taste of food. Similarly, as long as we are infested with sinful tendencies and activities, clarity about spiritual life will not come. So if we are not very disciplined, we are not careful to avoid sinful activities, then we will remain confused. So this fourth stage is difficult to cross because we are habituated to breaking the regulative principles. But by rigid following of bhajan kriya, spiritual practices under the guidance of spiritual master, one is able to cross over this stage. And when one is freed from unwanted habits and drives, then one becomes firmly established nishtha. One can not only protect his faith and understanding, one can even convince others. And after nishtha comes ruchi. Ruchi means taste. Till then we have to practice as a matter of duty. Taste might not be there. Just like the small child, it cries to go to school, doesn't like to go. And slowly when he becomes mature, on his own, he or she starts studying very nicely. Of course, this is a crude example, you don't get such taste in studies. You're doing it for some results, name, fame, money. And some people, yes, do have research aptitude. But in Krishna consciousness, you start getting real taste, unlimited taste. And this ruchi, when it is intensified, it becomes asakti. Asakti means very strong attachment. As people cannot start their day without tea or without cigarette, people are addicted to so many things. In a similar fashion, a person gets addicted, very strongly attached to spiritual practice. One cannot do without executing spiritual life. Initially, you have to force yourself because spiritual master is telling, as a matter of duty, I have to execute. And then when the anartha nivritti we have crossed, so we have to be patient. We have to see, am I still addicted to material enjoyment? Am I still sinful? I am captured by unwanted habits? Then please be patient. All the doubts will not be cleared now in this stage. But a stage is there which is called nishtha, firm faith, and then ruchi, then taste will come. So we have to wait for that. Before that, taste may come sometimes. If we commit sinful activities, taste will go away. Spiritual life will appear boring and burdensome also. But when ruchi comes, whenever you execute it, there is taste. As a healthy man eats nice food items, there is taste. And then asakti, one becomes strongly attached to such practices, cannot do without it. And then one reaches the stage of bhava. Bhava means emotions. Then this attachment becomes so advanced that one starts feeling emotions. As a young man and woman, spontaneously they are attracted to each other. Mind gets captured. In a similar fashion, Krishna's name, form, qualities, features, they capture the mind, and the person starts feeling emotions for God. And when the emotions are intensified, that stage is called prema, love of God, and that is the perfection of one's life. Then a person is completely freed from the laws of nature. Then one's life is completely successful. So these are the gradual stages of spiritual advancement. So here Krishna is telling sarva papai pramuchyate. One only who is freed from all the sins can understand in fact that Krishna is ajam, Krishna is anadim. He is not taking birth and he is the origin of everybody, all those who take births. This clarity will come when we are freed from sins. So we have to be patient. It takes some time to get cleared of the sins. Buddhir jnanam sammohaha kshama satyam dama shamaha Sukham dukham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha ahimsa samata tushtis tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pritag vidha. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, self-control and calmness, pleasure and pain, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy are created by me alone. Krishna is mentioning here we see good qualities and bad qualities, and he is the source of both. If one is intelligent, then this intelligence is bestowed by Krishna. Knowledge, if somebody is having knowledge. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge does not mean what we perceive as reconfiguring the matter. That is taken as Shilpa Gyan. Knowledge means the ability to discriminate spirit from matter. Otherwise, it is called Shilpa Gyan. What is Shilp? Shilp means just like ordinary work. A mason is there, he's putting one brick from here to there. Or, somebody is simply cooking the food. That does not need great deal of knowledge. You have to mix few spices here and there. Similarly, somebody can call himself very advanced technologist. What is that? That is also nothing, simply putting some chip here and there, putting one electron from this orbit to another orbit, and that is called technology. It is simply reconfiguring the matter. It is an art, but it is not called knowledge. What is knowledge? Vedas define is as ability to distinguish spirit from matter. From there the knowledge begins. Because this world is temporary. This happiness and distress is illusory. A person needs to be woken up from dream, and then the real life starts. Similarly, all this knowledge of this material world is but temporary. This is not called real knowledge. When a person understands I am spirit different from matter, that is called knowledge, the beginning of knowledge. Freedom from doubt and delusion, this is also created by Krishna. So because Krishna has created freedom from doubt and delusion, all the doubts will be cleared when Krishna is pleased with the devotional service. Forgiveness, this is very important, and truthfulness, if one needs to advance in spiritual life. Similarly, self-control and calmness. Nowadays, nobody is taught these qualities. One has to be self-controlled. People think the more I lose my control and joy in any whimsical way, my mind suggests that will make me happy. No, that does not make one happy. The more one is self-controlled, the more one will be satisfied. More one will be calm and peaceful. Pleasure and pain. This also we do not understand. Immediate pleasure is taken as pleasure, but we have to understand sweet poison is not very good thing to consume, even though it may appear sweet in the beginning. In a similar fashion, anything which is conducive for spiritual advancement should be considered as pleasure. Sometimes getting up early in the morning and taking bath, it may be troublesome, but it should be executed. Fasting on certain days recommended in the Vedas could be troublesome, but one should tolerate hunger and execute such fasting. Even though such things appear to be pain, we should understand that is actually pleasure. Because I am advancing in spiritual life, I am treading the path of unlimited happiness. On the other hand, material enjoyment which is immediately very, very pleasurable, that is actually poison. That is causing my repeated death. This sense enjoyment is creating karma for me, unlimited material desires, and I am creating my entanglement. I am creating many, many deaths, births, old ages and diseases for myself. So the so-called enjoyment which people hanker after in this material world should be taken as pain if it is not for Krishna consciousness. Of course, in Krishna consciousness, as we discussed, it is full of pleasure. Susukham kartum avyayam. You sing and dance for Krishna. Singing and dancing is allowed. You socialize on festivals and discuss about Krishna. That is allowed. Socializing is allowed. You want to go on tours and trips. That is allowed. But go to see the places of Krishna, connected with Krishna. The holy places, pilgrimages. You want to eat nice dishes, offer to Krishna and eat. That is allowed. But any enjoyment in which Krishna's pleasure is not involved, such enjoyment should be taken as pain because it puts one into more illusion and misery in the long term. Birth, death, both are created by Krishna. Fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, so all these qualities are very, very important. Now, we do not understand non-violence also properly. What is non-violence? Creating misery for anybody, that is called violence. Now, people think if I give people objects of material benefits, parents are thinking, oh, we were deprived of so many things in our childhood. Let us give whatever our children want. And this is properly taking care, bringing up children. No, this is not proper care. This is actually violence. You are making them addicted to sense objects and thus putting them straight on the path of repeated births and deaths. Had we given the right knowledge, we would have taken them to immortality. Thus the scriptures are telling, Janani na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Guru na sasyat, Bandhur na sasyat, na yad mochyate samupeta mrityam. One does not have right to become father, mother, spiritual master or relative if you cannot deliver your dependents from the clutches of death. Simply feeding children is not taking care of children. Animals also feed their young ones, their cubs. So simply feeding, that is done by nature's arrangement. Parents are not having any special credit for it, but credit is there for spiritual life. So this is the duty. Proper taking care of children means stopping their death. Otherwise, do not produce children. This is against the laws of nature. Produce children only if you can take them to become immortal. So thus, this is very important. This is called real non-violence. Equanimity, a person should always remain equipoised. One should not get elated in case of material happiness, not get distressed in case of material distress. Satisfaction, one should always remain satisfied with whatever is attained by the grace of Lord as per our actions of previous life. And save time for spiritual advancement. Austerity, voluntarily accepting discomforts, is important for purification of consciousness. Charity, so it is enjoined in the Vedas, at least 50% of one's income should be spent for charity, for welfare work for others. This is the nature's way, and we can see it as common sense. The grains, the fruits which the plants produce, we consume them, they don't consume it. The woods produced by the trees, we consume it. Similarly, the strong person should use his strength to protect the weak. Intelligent men should use their intelligence to guide the people who are ignorant. This is the way the nature has created this wonderful universe. Every person has some special ability. With that, one should help others who do not have that ability. In this way, there is perfect balance in the nature. So those who are earning must give 50% of their charity if we want to abide by the laws of nature for welfare work. And those who are wise, they know which is the best welfare activity. The best welfare activity is Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities, they just pertain to body. They are anyway being taken care by laws of nature. But if we spread Krishna consciousness, we can save people from unlimited sufferings. Fame and infamy are created by me alone. Maharshaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imaf prajaha. The 7 great sages and before them the 4 other great sages and the manus, progenitors of mankind, are born out of my mind, and all creatures in these planets descended from them. Maharshaya sapta purve. We would have heard of Saptarishis if we are having little touch with the Vedic knowledge. There are 7 great sages and they are their 7 planets. We see this constellation of 7 planets like a big spoon in the sky. So these great sages, and accompanied by 4 other sages, they are called Chatusanas, the 4 sons of Brahma, followed by 14 Manus. So these are the patriarchs of all of us. Human and non-human species have descended from them. So it is not that less intelligent beings evolved into more intelligent ones. No, but the most intelligent beings have created other intelligent and non-intelligent beings. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra sanshayah. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhavas samanvitah. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So here Krishna is telling, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything spiritual or material is emanating from me. And Buddha, those who are learned, bhajante mam Buddha bhava samanvitaha. So this word is very important. Bhajante and bhava samanvitaha. So some people tell bhajante or devotional service, the path of bhakti, is meant for people who are less intelligent. They cannot follow the path of Gyan. But here very clearly Krishna has told, Gyani takes many births and Bhakta quickly gets realized on this path of knowledge. And thus bhajante, he is telling the people, most wise people, Buddha means most learned. Bhajante, they engage in my service because I am the ultimate truth. And how do they engage in my service? Bhavas samanvitaha. With great, as we have discussed, there are various stages, 9 stages of spiritual perfection. And 8th stage is called bhava, feeling transcendental emotions for Krishna. So feeling transcendental emotions with great love, those people who are wise, they are worshipping me as Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, as the source of all the spiritual and material worlds. So this is Krishna, the source of everything that we see around us and what we do not see as well. Macchitta matagat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So what are the activities of the great souls who have realized absolute truth? Macchitta madgad prana. Their lives are surrendered unto me, their consciousness is absorbed in me, and bodhayanta parasparam, mutually they are discussing the knowledge of mine and my glories. So these are the activities of perfectly realized souls. They spend all their time just in discussing topics related to Krishna. So one may ask that how do we understand that Krishna is the source of everything material and spiritual worlds? Because we see that Krishna appeared 5000 years ago, but before that, how to understand? Some people tell Vishnu incarnated as Krishna. So yes, it is understanding that Vishnu incarnated as Krishna, but the Bhagavad school tells, Shrimad Bhagavatam, the conclusion of all the Vedanta sutras, Ete chansh kala punsam krishnastu bhagavan swayam. Various incarnations are listed. Rama adi murtishu kalaniyamena tishtan nana avataram akarod bhuvaneshu kintu. In Brahma Samhita also it is mentioned, Rama adi murtishu kalaniyamena tishtan. Rama, Varaha, Adi, etc. So many incarnations are there. But Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Pumanyo. Krishna himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Same thing Vedvyas. After all, we have not seen any incarnations. All this knowledge we get from the Vedas, knowledge of Lord Shiva, Goddess Durga, Lord Ganpati, and everybody. Lord Krishna, Vishnu. So that is why if we have to reach some conclusion, we have to ask Vedvyas, who has given us all this knowledge. So Maharshi Vedvyas is writing, after mentioning these incarnations in Bhagavatam, Ete chansh kalha punsam, all these other names, forms, he has mentioned incarnations of Matsya, fish-like incarnation, tortoise incarnation, Narsimha avatar. So ete chansh kalaha punsam, they are anshas or portion of the anshas. Tu means but Krishna Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna's name is also listed there. But Krishna is not expansion or one ansha, one fragment. Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although there is no difference, all these forms are Krishna only, just to relish various pleasures and to reciprocate the devotees who want to worship Krishna in particular feature, Krishna takes all these forms. It is offensive to think one form is more powerful, another form is less. No, they are all equally powerful. There is no difference between one form and another form. All these incarnations are Krishna only. And the example is given in Brahma Samhita again. Deeparchir evahi dashantaram abhyupetya Deepayate vivrata hetu samana dharma. Just like Deepa, lamp is there or candle is there. From one lamp or candle, many candles can be lit, and all of them will have equal illumination. But still there is one original candle from which others were lit, and that original candle, it is told, is Krishna. Yas tadrig evicha Vishnu taya vibhati. There are so many Vishnu forms. 3 Vishnu forms we discussed in course of our discussion. They are existing in this material world, and in spiritual world there are unlimited Vishnu forms, 400 forms. And all these Vishnu forms, it is being told, Yas tadrig evicha Vishnu taya vibhati. One who expands himself in many Vishnu forms, just like from one candle many candles can be lit, all are having equally power. That is the position of Krishna. He expands himself into many Vishnu forms. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam athavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagannandanatha Vishnur mahan saiya yasya kala vishesho govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Nishvasita kalam, the period of exhalation, is the lifespan of Brahma. Brahma's life, as we discussed in the 8th chapter, is 311 trillion years, more than that. And this period of 311 trillion years is the time of one breath of Lord Mahavishnu, from whose body so many universes are coming out. And Vishnur Mahan Sa Iha Yasya Kala Vishesho, that Mahavishnu is Kala, means expansion, of whom? Govindam, Supreme Lord Krishna, Govinda, Adi Purusham, who is the origin of all persons. Tamaham bhajami, I worship that person, Brahma is telling. So you can read in the purport of this 8th verse very nicely from the Atharva Ved. So some people tell, please show me where in Vedas Krishna's name is there. So many places. This mantra that we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here Krishna word comes, Krishna's name, it is from Krishna Yajurved. And here it is Atharva Ved. Yo Brahmanam vidadhati purvam, yo vai Vedansh cha gapayati sma Krishnaha. Vedansh gapayati sma Krishna. One who gave Vedas to Brahma, he is Krishna. So actually this is the real understanding. So why do people tell that Lord Krishna is coming from Vishnu and not vice versa? Because as we have discussed, if you have been following up very closely the Bhagavad Gita sessions, Lord Vishnu is present in this material universe. And one of the 3 Vishnus, the Devatas approach when there is some disturbance here in this material universe. And he tells that yes, I will come, I will help. And through that Lord Vishnu, who is called Kshirodakshai Vishnu, all the manifestation, all the incarnations, they appear here. And when Lord Krishna comes here, Lord Balram, when he comes, they also come from Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And you will hear description in the Vedas that there are 2 hairs on the chest of Lord Vishnu. One is black, one is white. And they incarnate as Krishna and Balram. So one may think, oh, just see, this is also in the Vedas, clear explanation is there. From these hairs, the incarnations have come. But here we understand that Gapyati Sma Krishna, Krishna is explaining the knowledge to Brahma. And from Krishna, Mahavishnu is coming, who is sustaining all the material universes. So how do we understand this fact? So the understanding is Krishna appears through Kshirodakshai Vishnu, but he can appear directly as well, just like Narsimha Dev incarnation. He appeared through pillar. There is no need of father and mother also. And sometimes he appears through father and mother, as in the case of Devaki and Vasudev. So Lord Krishna can appear from anywhere. Entire world is his energy. He can become visible anywhere. And he is visible anywhere and everywhere for pure devotees. And thus when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, you are always telling God, God, where is your God? He told he is everywhere. Because it is a fact, God is present in every atom, but non-devotees, materialists, we cannot see. So when he told he is everywhere, he is in this pillar also, let me kill your God now, let me see. And just to keep the words of his pure devotee, Lord Krishna appeared as Narsingh Dev out of the pillar. So he can appear through pillar, he can appear through Devaki, or he can appear through Kshirodakshai Vishnu. So pillar does not become father of Krishna, Devaki does not become mother of Krishna, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu does not become the source of Krishna. Krishna has chose to appear through various forms. In this way, the conclusive truth of Vedas is very, very confidential. So one has to understand from proper Vedic references under the guidance of proper spiritual master. But there is no difference. Krishna, Vishnu, they are all same personality, but still we have to understand who is the original personality. And we have seen good amount of Vedic references. And that is why it is told in the Vedas further, Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nam Tat Tulyam Ram Name Varanane. Lord Shiva is telling to Goddess Parvati, Ram Ram Rameti, if you chant Ram Ram Ram, then this is equal to Sahasra Nam Tat Tulyam. There are 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. People chant Vishnu Sahasra Nam. So Lord Shiva is always chanting Lord Ramchandra's name. He is instructing Mother Parvati, Varanane, oh goddess who are having very beautiful face, chant Ram, Ram and Ram. This is equal to Sahasranam Tulyam. This is equal to chanting 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. And Trir Avrityitu Yat Phalam. By chanting 3 times Lord Rama's name, the same result is attained which a person can get by chanting once the name of Krishna. So this is the version of the Vedas. So it means by chanting one Krishna, one gets the result of chanting Ram, 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 and that is equal to chanting 1,000 times the name of Lord Vishnu. So in this way also we can understand how Krishna is the source of all other forms. And like this, the references are unlimited, but time is limited. Maybe in course of our other sessions, we will see more references. But here this is very important, and that we will see also in the next chapter. Krishna will show his 400 form and then he will show his 200 form. Telling this 200 form Devtas also cannot see, because Devtas cannot go beyond the material universe. And 400 form is visible in material universe, Lord Vishnu. And 200 form of Lord Krishna, Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto, that lives in spiritual world. Devtas are conditioned being like us. They don't have access to spiritual world. So thus all these wonderful explanations we will discover more in course of time. For now we can understand Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Krishna is the source of everything. All the incarnations, all the expansions, all the material universes and the spiritual planets. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Matchitta madagat prana bodhayantav parasparam. Those who are always conversing about me, taking pleasure in my topics. Unto those great souls who in this way are constantly engaged in my service. Tesham satat. Satat means always. Yuktanam, who are always engaged in bhajatam. Bhajatam means rendering service. How? Priti Purvakam, with great love. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. So this Buddhi Yoga word we discussed in second chapter also. This Buddhi Yoga means action in Krishna consciousness. That is the topmost intelligence. When a person is most wise, he understands Krishna is Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, the source of everyone, everything. So all the action should be done for his pleasure. Now, how to act on a two-step basis in the pleasure of Krishna? That Lord Krishna guides from the heart to the people who are always engaged in his service. This is our only hope of spiritual advancement in this age of Kali Yuga. If you want to understand God about reading all the Vedas and books, so even though it is possible by finishing such readings, but it was possible in previous ages. That too, it takes a very, very long time and people are having very long life. And now our lifespan is very less and our memories are so poor. Today we read something and by the evening we will forget. So where is the question of proper analysis? For proper analysis, intelligence to work nicely, we need to be Shrutidhara. Shrutidhara means in Vedic culture, people were simply learning, the disciples would simply hear once from the spiritual master, and for the rest of the life, the topics are committed to their memory. They will never forget it. So in this way, just by once hearing, they will be able to keep in the memory, and thus they would be able to analyze the things very nicely. Now, if you are always forgetting, where is the question of applying proper logic? Today we discuss this, we get convinced. Tomorrow we may get confused because we forget the logics, the discussions. So there is no hope of coming to proper conclusion of Vedic knowledge by reading the Vedas today because we forget the things. So for people like us who are not Shrutidharas, not having perfect memory, analysis will not work. Right? So please do not get confused when we are not able to understand anything. Confusion is natural, we keep on forgetting. And by analysis, even if a person is like Brahma, having perfect memory, still Brahma gets confused, what to speak of us? So thus this is the process, this is the hope. And that is Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. Always, constantly one should engage in the service of Krishna under the guidance of spiritual master. Then Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, even though the person is very less intelligent. As Krishna mentioned in previous chapter, Papa Yoneya, people who are less intelligent, less qualified, if they take shelter of mine, they can also attain the ultimate destination. So it does not matter if we are less intelligent. We have to simply engage constantly in the service of Krishna, and then Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, I give him the Buddhi Yoga, how to act in Krishna consciousness in my service, so that Upayantite, at the end they can come to me. So thus the life becomes very simple. And this is a great secret. Krishna is telling the way to, by analyzing, we will understand what is the right course of action. But step to step basis, Krishna is guiding us. What can be better if God is guiding us? What we have to do is just maintain constant engagement in the service of Krishna. And how we can do it? So that is very simple, as Krishna has explained in the second chapter, and after that third chapter, fourth, fifth chapter. What we have to do is we have got certain skills and qualifications. They have to be used in the service of Krishna. We have to work the way our mind and body work naturally, find any convenient job, business, vocation, and the results offered to Krishna. And meanwhile, while we are engaged in that job, we should always try to chant Krishna's name and think of Krishna, and try to develop knowledge of Krishna. Simply by following this process, one is constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, and then the right knowledge from the heart is revealed. Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Aham ajnanajam tamaha, the darkness which is ajnanajam, born of ignorance, I destroy because I am seated in the heart. So Krishna is very compassionate upon such devotees who are always glorifying him, engaged in his service to such great souls. Thus, it is very simple. The subject matter is so nice, so interesting. Bodhayanta parasparam, find another person and keep on discussing this knowledge and engage always in service of Krishna. Tesham, to such great souls, Krishna destroys Nashyami Atma Bhavasto, all the ignorance. So when Krishna wants to destroy ignorance, then where is the question of not getting enlightened? Krishna gives all knowledge. So this is the easiest process. So rather than waiting life after life to gradually develop your body and intelligence and understand Krishna, let us engage with whatever little intelligence and strength we have in His service, and then He will guide step to step basis, and He will destroy ignorance from the heart. So usually we think unless we use discrimination, we apply logic, reasoning, we cannot get proper knowledge, but this is not correct. We see all the species are having knowledge of maintaining themselves, their young ones, eating, mating, sleeping, defending. This knowledge is there for everybody. How to create shelter, how to defend themselves, how to raise their young ones, arrange food, store food, all these things, this knowledge is given. So knowledge is given by Krishna from the heart. So without applying, using our speculation, simply if we engage in Krishna service, all knowledge will come without any extra need of analyzing and speculating with our imperfect brains. But still, one should not become lazy. Because yes, it is a fact. Simply if we chant, if we hear, satisfy, somehow serve Krishna, all the knowledge will be revealed. But in this age of widespread ignorance and agnosticism, some person may come tomorrow and challenge our beliefs, and we may get shaken up and leave our practices. So thus it is important that we should not be lazy in understanding Krishna, so that very firmly we are established in Krishna's service. Otherwise, in good faith, if a person takes up the process, then success is assured. But so that we don't get deviated off the path, we need to cultivate knowledge of Krishna also side by side. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adi devam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshir naradastatha asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishi me. Arjuna said, "You are the supreme Brahm, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me." So this is the conclusion of Arjuna after hearing Bhagavad Gita so far. What is that? Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. We are all Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, you are that. We have heard this sufficiently. But Krishna is Param Brahma. This special word is used for Krishna. So we are infinitesimal atomic sparks, Brahm, spark of Brahm, and Krishna is Param Brahm, infinite Brahm. He is the source of all infinitesimal Brahms, all the living entities. So Krishna is Supreme, Infinite Spirit, Param Brahma, Param Dhama. And we have discussed sufficiently, everything in material and spiritual world is resting on Krishna. So Krishna is Supreme Abode. Everything is resting on Him, His energy. Param, thus He is called Param Dhama, the Supreme Abode. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, He is supremely pure. If anybody comes in contact with Krishna, they become purified immediately. Even the demons, when they are killed by Krishna, they become liberated immediately. So all the problems in life are because of impurities, lust, anger, greed. So when we maintain constant contact with Krishna, especially in Kali Yuga, such contact can be maintained by chanting His name. Kali Kale Naam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Naam Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shakti. Krishna has taken incarnation in the form of His name. All the potencies of Krishna are invested in the name. So by always chanting and hearing the name of Krishna, which is very easy to do, one is in constant touch with Krishna, is supremely pure. Just like an iron rod in constant touch with fire becomes fire-like, starts emitting heat and light. our entire mind and body becomes purified of material dirt, and it becomes spirit-like, starts behaving like spirit, as Iron Lord starts behaving like fire. And when the mind and body start behaving like spirit, we can experience our spiritual nature, bliss, eternal life, and unlimited happiness. And the laws of the nature surroundings don't impact us. So Pavitram, Krishna is supreme purifier. Paramam Bhavan, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, yourself. Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. You are Purush, but you are not Purush like us who take birth and die. You are Shashvat. Shashvat means eternal. So Arjuna is perfect student of Bhagavad Gita. We should take his conclusion. Arjuna is concluding, you are eternal person. You are not an energy. You are eternally a person. Always you are a person and you will always remain a person. Purusham Shashvatam. You have never taken birth, you will never die. Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. How is it possible? We see persons take birth and they die. No, because you are Divyam, you are spiritual. On spiritual platform it is possible. And Adi Devam, you are the not any other Devata, you are Adi Devam, the origin of all the Devatas. Ajam Vibhum. Again the word is used Ajam. So many times Krishna has told, I am Ajam. Arjuna is also telling Ajam. Ajam means one who does not take birth, does not accept bodies. So Krishna does not accept body. He has not accepted a body sitting in the womb of Devaki. Krishna is always like that, in that form. That is spiritual form of Krishna, which appears like matter so that we can see him. Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve Devarshir Naradastatha. And all the great sages, Rishaya Sarve, Dev Rishi Narad, Asito, Devalo, Vyaso, these are great Vedic authorities. Asit and Deval are less known if you are not into the Vedic knowledge, but everybody definitely knows Ved Vyas, the author of Mahabharata, Shrimad Bhagavatam, compiler of all the Vedas. So Arjuna is quoting, not because I am your friend, so I am doing flattery to you. Oh, you are unborn, you are God. Just like friends may sometimes speak of each other. No. So do not think it is a friendly glory, but all the great sages speak such of you, that you are Param Brahma, Param Dhama. And Swayam Chay Bravishi me, you yourself mercifully have declared, spoken the same knowledge to me. So all the great sages, authorities of absolute truth, they tell Krishna is the origin of everything. Krishna is the original person. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, he is infinite spirit, source of everything. He is eternally a person. And Arjuna, the perfect student of Bhagavad Gita, has come to the same conclusion. Krishna is also telling the same thing, I am God. Then why we are spending time uselessly? All the authorities have told. Krishna has declared this Bhagavad Gita has been accepted as authority by every authorized sage. So if you want to save time, we can accept it and start practicing this very nice process which is mentioned here of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. And there is no loss. Chant the name of Krishna, engage in service of Krishna. Sarvametadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanavah. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the gods nor demons, O Lord, know thy personality. Arjuna has accepted everything that Krishna told because other authorities have spoken of the same thing about Krishna. And nobody knows you. Vidur Devana Danava. The Devs do not know you, the gods and the demons also do not know you. Only a person who is a devotee can know you perfectly. Swayam evatmanatmanam vettatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Vaktum arhasya sheshena divya hi atma vibhutayaha yabhir vibhuti birlokan imastvam vyapya tishthasi. Please tell me in detail of your divine powers by which You pervade all these worlds and abide in them. Katham vidyamaham yogins tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. How should I meditate on you? In what various forms are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kathaya triptirhi shinvato nasti me mritam. Tell me again in detail, O Janardan, Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. As it has been concluded here, mat chitta matagat prana bodhayanta parasparam manmana bhav bhakto maya sakta mano ye mam. Steady concentration of the mind on Krishna is what is being prescribed here as the ultimate knowledge. Now, Arjuna knows Krishna as a supreme person, but ordinary people cannot know his spiritual form. So, ordinary persons who are captured by material energy, how can they always think of Krishna? Because they are enamored by the material opulences. So, how Krishna has manifested himself in the material world? Arjuna is telling Krishna to kindly explain so that ordinary people, advanced people directly Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Those who are in love of God, always they are seeing the form of God within their hearts. Krishna becomes visible to them out of his mercy. But ordinary people cannot practice such meditation. So what ordinary person can do? For the sake of poor people like us, Arjuna is putting forth this question. How can an ordinary person meditate on you, think of you, O Krishna? Please explain your glories. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Hantate Kathayishyami Divya hi Atma Vibhutayaha Pradhanyata Kuru Shrestha Nasti Anto Vistarasya Me. The blessed Lord said, Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. So everything is Krishna's opulence, what we see around us. But the prominent opulences, Krishna is now going to explain. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthitaha Aham Adishcha Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha. I am the Self, O Gudakesha, seated in the hearts. I am the Self, O Gudakesha, seated in the hearts of all creatures. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Adityanamaham Vishnur Jyotisham Raviransuman Marichir Marutamasmi Nakshatranamaham Shashi. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. I am Marichi of the Maruts. And among the stars, I am the moon. So these are glorious manifestations. There are Dwadash Aditya, 12 Aditya demigods, sons of Aditi. Among them, Lord Vishnu is the supreme. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. And sun, as we know, is we all see sun as very effulgent. As soon as you see this glorious manifestation so effulgent, one should understand this is Krishna, Krishna's manifestation. I am Marichi of the Maruts. Maruts are the demigods who control the heavenly spaces, winds, and Marichi is the most prominent among them. He is also manifestation of Krishna. And among the stars, I am the moon, Krishna is telling. Moon is the most illuminating among the stars, nakshatras. And Krishna is telling, as soon as you see moon, you should remember, oh, this moon is also manifestation of Krishna's energy. Vedanam sam vedosmi Devanam vasavaha indriyanam manaschasmi bhutanam chetana. Of the Vedas I am the Samaved. Of the demigods I am Indra. Of the senses I am the mind. And in living beings I am the living force. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikharinamaham. Of all the Rudras I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus I am fire, Agni. And of the mountains I am Meru. So this discussion is not of this planet, but of the manifestations of the entire universe. So there are 11 Rudras. Of the 11 Rudras, Lord Shiva is the topmost Rudra, most prominent. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigods. Of the Vasus, I am fire. Vasus, they are another category of demigods, and Agni is most powerful and prominent among them. Krishna is telling that is also my manifestation. And there are so many mountains, and the tallest mountain is Mount Meru. Krishna is telling that is also my manifestation. Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha brihaspatim senani namaham skandaha sarasamasmi sagaraha. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati, the lord of devotion. Of generals, I am Skanda, the lord of war, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Maharshinam Bhriguraham Giramasmi Ekamaksharam Yajnanam Japayagyosmi Sthavaranam Himalayaha. Of the great sages I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices I am the chanting of the holy names Japa. And of immovable things I am the Himalayas. Now when we read this description, I am ocean, I am Himalaya, I am moon. So one should not think, if a person does not have proper understanding, one may think Krishna is energy or the material energy. These are manifestations of matter, moon, Himalayas, water. But then Krishna is telling I am person also, I am Bhrigu, I am sun. So some people think that sum total of everything that is there in the universe, that is Krishna. Krishna is not a person. Ultimately, Krishna wants to tell everything that you see around you, that is Krishna. So this is not the proper understanding. Proper understanding, because Krishna, at the same time, Arjuna has concluded, you are Purusham, you are a person. Shashvatam Divyam, you are always a person. So Krishna cannot be matter, which is spread everywhere. When Krishna tells, I am ocean, Himalayas, and etc., it means Achindya Bheda Bhed, as we have been discussing. There is no difference between energy and energetic. At the same time, there is difference. Sun and sunlight are one unit, because there is no separate existence of sunlight without sun, or sun is existing without its light. It's not possible. So thus, they can be said as one. At the same time, we cannot tell that sunlight is exactly same as sun. So when Krishna is telling this is me, it means this is my energy. In that sense, Krishna is telling. So all these are manifestation of Krishna's energy. Just like the leaves, the twigs, the branches are all tree, but still tree is tree. It is the complete whole. So this is the way in which we are supposed to take this explanation. It is me means it is my energy, because energy is not different from me. So very important word used here is Yajnanam Jap Yajño Asmi. There are so many yajñas. There is yajña of dravya, which means offering grains into the fire sacrifice, or giving charity of material goods. That is called dravya yajña. There is Gyan Yajna, when somebody reads the Vedas. That is also sacrifice of one's intelligence, one's time, energy. It takes a lot of effort, so that is also sacrifice. And following Brahmacharya, that is also sacrifice. In this way, so many sacrifices are recommended in the Vedas. But among all the yagyas, so these yagyas, as we have discussed enough, are not just required for spiritual advancement, but also for maintaining a comfortable material life. For getting the natural resources, yagya is required. So of so many yagyas which Krishna has described, the most powerful yagya is Japa Yagya, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So thus, what the process we are following, it is highly recommended in all the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita also. So we remember in 9th chapter verse number 14, Krishna mentioned Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, always keep on chanting my name. Here Krishna is telling Yagyanam, I am the chanting of the holy name. So chanting of the names is being given so much stress. So thus we should follow this chanting always Satatam throughout the day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There will be no material scarcity and we will make perfect spiritual advancement. This japa is the topmost yagya. More than reading the Vedas, more than tapasya, more than following vratas, standing in neck-deep cold water, more than doing 7-day, 10-day, 1 month of fasting, more than anything else, simply chanting the holy names, greatest yagya. Ashvatha sarva vrikshanam devarshinam cha naradaha gandharvanam chitrarathaha siddhanam kapilo munihi. Of all the trees I am the holy fig tree, and amongst sages and demigods I am Narada. Of the singers of the god Gandharvas I am Chitraratha, and among perfected beings I am the sage Kapila. Uchchaya Shavasam Ashvanam Vidhi Mam Amritodbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam cha naradhipam. Of horses know me to be Uchchaishrava, who rose out of the ocean, born of the elixir of immortality. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavat, and among men I am the monarch. So these descriptions are given of various famous personalities or animals in the universe. So it might take a lot of time if we described every personality. The great sage Bhrigu, the most powerful sons of Brahma, who went and kicked Lord Vishnu on his chest. That is why those who make deities, they have this footprint on Lord Krishna's chest. So that impression is of Lord Bhrigu's feet. He is very, very powerful sage. But time is very less. And anyway, we don't see these personalities as other powerful personalities they can witness. But anyway, we have seen monarch, it is described here. So whenever we see king or prime minister or powerful rulers, we can immediately think of Krishna, that Krishna has invested their potency in them. That is why they have rose to such power. So in this way, we should always try to think of Krishna. So as far as Airavat and Uchchaishrava are concerned, they came out of the churning of ocean of milk. We know Lord Shiva, he drank poison and nectar was given to the demigods. In that churning, one horse also came out and elephant also came out. So these are their names, Uchchaishrava and Airavat. So if time permits, we will discuss sometimes about all these great personalities. Lord Kapila, who is incarnation of Krishna himself, who explains Sankhya Yoga to his mother Devahuti, and Devarshi Narad, we all know. He is the incarnation of Bhakti potency of Lord Krishna. He is a spiritual master of entire universe and that of sage Vedvyas also. Ayudhanamaham vajram dhenu namasmi kamadhok Rajanaschasmi kandarpaha sarpanamasmi vasukihi. Of weapons I am the thunderbolt, among cows I am the surabhi, givers of abundant milk. Of procreators I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of the serpents I am Vasuki, the chief. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yadasamaham pitranam aryamachasmi yamasayamatamaham. Of the celestial Naga snakes, I am Ananta. Of the aquatic deities, I am Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, Lord of Death. Prahaladashchasmi daityanam kalah kalayatamaham mriganam cha mragendroham vainateyascha pakshina. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among the subduers, I am Time. Among the beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuna, the feathered carrier of Vishnu. Pavana pavatamasmi Rama shastra bhritamaham Jhashana makaraschasmi Shrotasamasmi Jahnavi. Of purifiers I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons I am Ram. Of fishes I am the shark. And of flowing rivers I am the Ganges. Sarganamaadirantascha madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vadav pravadatamaham. Of all creations I am the beginning and the end and also the middle. O Arjuna, of all sciences I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians I am the conclusive truth. Aksharanam akarosmi dvandvasamasika cha aham evakshaya kalo dhataham vishvato mukhaha. Of letters I am the letter A, and among compounds I am the dual word. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators I am Brahma, whose manifold faces turn everywhere. Mrityu sarvaharashchaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam iti shrirvakcha narinam smritir medha dhritikshama. I am all-devouring death, and I am the generator of all things yet to be. Among women I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. So death is an established truth. Nobody can avoid death. So when we see death happening, we should understand this is also the energy of Krishna, arrangement of Krishna. And these are the feminine qualities: fame, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, patience. Any woman becomes glorious by having one or more of these qualities. So when we see such qualities, then we should understand this is also Krishna, manifestation of Krishna's energy. Brihasam tatha samnam Gayatri chandasamaham Masanam margashirshoham Ritunam kusumakaraha. Of hymns I am the Brihat Sam, sung to the Lord Indra, and of the poetry I am the Gayatri verse, sung daily by the Brahmanas. Of months I am November and December, and of seasons I am flower-bearing spring. So Gayatri verse is the topmost verse of the Vedic literature, and it is meant to be chanted by advanced souls, either Brahmanas. Brahmana means Brahma Jana Atiti Brahmana, who has realized that he is not the body but spirit soul. So such Brahmanas can chant Gayatri, or the Devtas who are very sattvic in heavenly bodies. So these days we see many people, they just read Gayatri mantra and start chanting, but it will not be effective. Gayatri mantra has to be chanted by proper qualification: Satyam, Shama, Dama. Mind should be perfectly controlled, senses should be controlled. Truthfulness, forgiveness, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, the knowledge of self different from matter, self-realization. One should be very, very advanced in these qualities. And then one can chant Gayatri and make advancement. So because people are not very sattvic in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to find Brahmana. That is why this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is given. So it more than compensates Gayatri. It does not matter if we cannot take benefit of chanting Gayatri. Hare Krishna Mahamantra will give all the results that are attainable by chanting Gayatri. There is no difference between the two, chanting Gayatri or Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very merciful incarnation, which even the least qualified people can also chant and make perfect advancement. Masana Marg Shirshoham, November, December are considered the best because people harvest their crops in this season. And of course, we know the spring is very, very nice. It's very pleasant condition. So when we see such pleasant conditions, such seasons, because these things, they easily captivate one's mind and attention. Oh yes, it is very nice month. We will collect grains now. Oh, it is very nice weather, so amazing. So we can immediately remember, oh, this is also creation of Krishna. Dyutam chalayatam tejas tejasvinamaham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattvam sattvatamaham. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Vrishninam vasudevosmi Pandavanam dhananjayah Muninam apyaham vyasah Kavinam ushana kavihi. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudev, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyas, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana. Ushana, the great thinker here, is the spiritual master of the demons. He was very, very wise person, and thus he is also a representation of Krishna's energy. Dando damayatam netirasmi jigishatam maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. So we see trees are bearing fruits are again having seeds, and from that seed again comes a tree. How did this all start? It all started from the seed. So who gave the original seed of all the species of life, plants, trees, crops, and that in the embryo for the development of human beings? So Krishna is telling, I am the seed of all the existences. So any wonderful manifestation we see around us and we wonder about the origin, from where came the original seed? So Krishna is telling, I am the original seed. Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa eshattuddeshata prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Yad yad vibhutimas sattvam Shrimad urjitameva va tat tad eva vagachatvam mama tejonsha sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So even though we cannot conceive of Krishna's spiritual form in our heart always, Krishna is telling, any beautiful thing you see around you, any mighty thing that you notice around you, it is manifestation of my splendor. So tomorrow if we find some beautiful flower around us, we should think, oh, this is also Krishna's energy. Krishna is wonderful creator. If we see any beautiful man, woman, any educated, very erudite man or woman scholars, we should understand, oh, this is also manifestation. Their brain, mind has been designed by Krishna. Otherwise, nobody could have been so learned. We see any nice composition of poetry, we should understand this is Krishna's manifestation. Any nice technology we get enamored, oh, this is also Krishna's intelligence. How Krishna has created all these wonderful phenomena. So anything beautiful, splendorous, we should immediately think of Krishna. So in this way, indirectly, if we start thinking of Krishna, one day we will reach sufficient purification by which we can directly think of Krishna. Athva bahunaytena kim gyatena tavarjuna Vishtabhyahamidam Krishnam ekanshena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, why you are asking, what is the need of all this detail? Just like we have a car, we need not understand all the details, intricacies of car manufacturing. We need to know how to use the car to reach our destination, our goal. In a similar fashion, this world is very, very complex, unlimitedly complex. One cell is more complex than a metropolitan city in its rush hour. So one cell, we cannot understand how somebody has developed a city in such a small unit called cell. And self-replicating city. Can one city, New York, produce another New York? Same building, same houses, same offices, same traffic, same water, same gas, same everything. It is impossible. But that is self-replicating city. What is this arrangement? So many cities are required. They make up this wonderful complex machines, our bodies. So Krishna is telling, what is the need, Arjuna, of all these things? You have to think of me and just understand this entire material manifestation. Mam tejo ansha sambhavan. Ansha means from one fragment of mine, entire universe is pervaded and sustained, and that is Paramatma manifestation. Lord Krishna in the form of Paramatma, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He has entered into Anda, Brahmanda, the supreme egg universe, and Paramanu, he has entered within the atom also. So every atom is able to maintain its integrity, its form, structure, because Paramatma is there present inside. So all the body's units are sustaining because Paramatma is sitting in every body. So thus, with one fragment, Krishna is telling, entire material world is pervaded and is sustained. So one fragment of mine is so powerful. So there is no end to my glories, Arjuna. So there is no need of such detailed explanations. Just think of me and become my devotee. So these are some introductory opulences of Krishna. These opulences are meant so that we can increase our affection on Krishna. And thus, when we understand the glories of any person, automatically we like to discuss about that person. We want to meet that person and establish relationship with that person. So if we get convinced about the glories and opulences of Krishna, it will be very easy to become devotees of Krishna, which is the purpose of explaining all these opulences. And now, the next chapter, universal form. A very unique vision is given to Arjuna, where he is able to see entire universe, including past, present and future, sitting in one place. How was that manifested? We will see in the next chapter. Thank you so much for hearing. Please keep on chanting always. Hare Krishna.